Use surfaces to split bodies and faces. In this video, we'll use split body with a surface and split face with a surface. In Fusion 360, we want to carry on with our complex box. We're going to start by rolling the end of the features before the shell, and we want to expand our bodies folder and show our surface body. I'm going to rotate it around slightly so we can see all three faces that belong to the surface. Navigate to Surface Tools and select Offset. We're going to select all three faces of the surface and we're going to bring it down a distance of 30 millimeters. Notice that when we do this, the surface does not extend through the solid body. We're going to select OK, navigate back to our solid tools, and we want to take a look at two of the split options, split face and split body. If we select split face, first we need to determine which faces we want to split. We want to split all the way around the outside of the part, then we need to rotate it and select every face that we want to split. Then we can select our splitting tool. To do this, I'm going to navigate back to a home view and I'm going to select Body 3 that's inside of my browser. There's an option to extend the splitting tool, which will allow us to extend out past that front edge where the surface doesn't intersect. We say OK. Note that we still have one solid body, but now we've split the solid body on the outside only in the case of its faces. I'm going to select and delete the split face and take a look at split bodies. For split body, instead of selecting individual faces, we'll have to select a solid body. For the splitting tool, once again, I'll select the Body 3 surface body and I'll allow it to extend the splitting tool and say OK. If we take a look in our browser, we now have Body 1 and Body 4. These are two separate solid bodies. If I hide my surfaces and I hide Body 1, I'm left simply with this top body. Next, I want to add a fillet. In this case, I'll add a 15 millimeter fillet to the bottom edge and say OK. But what happens when we roll back past our shell? The shell was applied to the original bottom face of the original body. So if we take a look at this and we turn on our analysis, we can see what we've created is a solid body on top and a thin wall solid body on the bottom. Using split bodies means that the original face that we used for our shell was on the lower portion of the split body. So keep in mind when you're using tools like split body and split face, and you start to reorganize the timeline, make sure you understand the implications of how those tools are going to be rebuilt. In the case of using something like a shell, we would want to make sure that we modify the shell feature, and instead of selecting the faces or bodies that we want to shell, we would select the entire body from the browser, say OK, and now we've shelled just the inside of that body. If we turn off our section analysis, note that none of the external faces are open because we selected the entire body as the shell. So if you want to keep that upper body as the shell, you will need to rebuild some of the features in the timeline. For us, however, let's go ahead and navigate back to a home view, and let's make sure that we save this before moving on.